Hi, good morning. This is Trina here to discuss about land pollution and the types of solid wastes. And here in my personal information, I have given my mobile number and email ID. If you have any doubt, you can communicate with me. And the most important part is the course page. Here, you have to first join with the code and then the study materials you can avail. I have uploaded entire study material and all the probable questions, the solved problems, and also the semester questions. The name of the subject is Environmental Science. The subject code MC301 for odd semester and MC401 for even semester. The streams are CSE, IT, Civil, Mechanical and BME. So this course is for the undergraduate BTech students. And about the course objective and outcomes, the students will be able to understand the natural environment and its relationships with human activities. They will be able to apply the fundamental knowledge of science and engineering to assess environmental and health risk. They will be able to understand environmental laws and regulations to develop guidelines and procedures for health and safety issues. The students will be able to solve scientific problem solving related to air, water, noise, and land pollution. So our future citizen will be responsible to take care about our Mother Earth. They will acquire skills for scientific problem solving related to air, water, noise, and land pollution. So here the entire syllabus is given. First general part, that is 6 lectures, then air pollution 7 lectures, and the water pollution 7 lectures, land pollution 2 lectures, and noise pollution also 2 lectures. So today I will start the land pollution and I will discuss about types of solid wastes. Today's topic, that is the land pollution, and I will discuss about the different types of solid wastes. And here, after the noise pollution, you can see the reference books are given. So you can avail these books from our library. Next, the lecture plan is given. So day-wise, that means in one lecture, which portion or which topics will be covered, this part is given here. So this is the module 4, types of solid waste. The part of today's discussion, that is the different types of solid waste. So first of all, we have already learned in our general part, that is what are the components of environment. So here I just recapitulate this part, that what are the types of the components of environment. So you have learned there are 4 components. First is atmosphere, that is the sphere of air, hydrosphere, sphere of water, lithosphere, the sphere of soil and rocks, and the biosphere, all living organisms. So our part is the lithosphere. Today we'll tell about the lithosphere, this part. So lithosphere basically tells about the land. So here we can see the 3 types of rocks: igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock. So lithosphere is a rocky outer part of the earth. It is made up of brittle crust and the top part of the upper mantle. The lithosphere is the coolest and most rigid part of the earth. So here you can see the lithosphere, part of the lithosphere. So there are basically three parts. First, that is the core, innermost part, that is the core. After that, we get the mantle, and then outermost part, that is called the crust. So here you can see that is the core, then mantle and crust. So here approximate thickness is also given for the core, for mantle and for the crust. So generally we understand the crust as our lithosphere, that is the outermost part. Actually the lithosphere means the all three parts. The first, the innermost part, that is the core, then next part is mantle, and the topmost part, that is the outermost, uppermost solid part, that is crust. But generally speaking, what we understand the crust as our lithosphere. Why? Because we utilize this. We utilize all the land resource from the crust. That is why we understand our lithosphere as the crust, as our lithosphere. Basically, the lithosphere is very important. You know that soil is required for the tree plantation, crop production, the agriculture, and lithosphere is very important for the transportation and all types of construction activities. The lithosphere is very important for us. And this land resource means we understand the resource, we understand that which we utilize, the materials which we utilize for our purpose, that is the resource. So here the land resource means first we tell about the rock, soil, minerals. So basically we don't, that means the soil and minerals come from different rocks. So we need to understand the different types of rocks. So so lithosphere, there are three parts. You have seen that three parts, that igneous rock, sedimentary rock and metamorphic rock. So rock is any naturally occurring solid mass or aggregate of mineral or mineraloid matter. It is categorized by the minerals included, its chemical composition, and the way in which it is formed. Rocks are usually grouped into three main groups that I told you: igneous rock, metamorphic rock, and sedimentary rock. So what is the igneous rock? Igneous rock is basically the primary rock, and how it is prepared, how it is produced. So igneous rock derived from the Latin word ignis, meaning fire, or magmatic rock is one of the three main rock types. So igneous rock is formed through the cooling and solidification of magma or lava. So we get the igneous rock from magma or lava. So this magma, how it is derived? Derived from partial melts of pre-existing rocks in either a planet's mantle or crust. Typically, the melting of rocks is caused by one or more of three processes: an increase in temperature, a decrease in pressure, or a change in composition. So this igneous rock also is of two types. Number one, that is the plutonic or intrusive rock. Plutonic or intrusive rock. results when magma cools and crystallizes slowly within the Earth's crust. So it remains within the Earth's crust. It is not coming out. This type of rocks, example is granite. And second category is the volcanic or extrusive rocks. Volcanic or extrusive rocks result from magma reaching the surface either as lava or fragmental ejecta. So forming minerals such as pumice or basalt. So you have heard this name, that granite, basalt. So all these are example of igneous rock. So igneous rock is the primary rock which is coming from the cooling down of the lava. When due to very high pressure, the magma lava is gushes out from the core and it is cooling down and form a rock that is called the igneous rock. So I am showing now few figure of the igneous rock. So this is the structure, different types of igneous rock. It looks like this one. This is the igneous rock. Sedimentary rocks are formed at the Earth's surface by the accumulation and cementation of fragments, either earlier rocks of minerals and organism, or as chemical precipitates or organic growth in water. Basically, sedimentation means we will get the sediment. So the rocks basically due to the weathering process, like very high, heavy rain or the fast wind. So the rocks, in the small particles, transfer from one place to another place, and it is deposited and form the sedimentary rock. So before being deposited, sediments are formed by weathering of either earlier rocks by erosion in a source area and then transported one place to another place, of deposition by water, wind, ice, mass movement of glacier, etc. So what are the examples? Very common examples of the sedimentary rock: sandstones, limestones, shale. Now I will show you the figure of the sedimentary rock. So you can see the features of the rocks. Then you can identify also. If you see the properly, then you can identify that it is coming by the sedimentation. Okay, next is metamorphic rock. They are formed by subjecting any rock type. It may come from either sedimentary rock or may come from the igneous rock. It occurs by the chemical transformation. So it is coming from either sedimentary or igneous rock or another older metamorphic rock to different temperature and pressure condition than those in which the original rock was formed. This process is called metamorphism, meaning to change in form. So the temperature may be greater than 150 to 200 degrees centigrade and pressure may be 1500 bars. So the common examples like marble. It is very common example is a marble, and this comes from the limestone. So limestone converted into the marble by very high temperature, high pressure, we get the metamorphic rocks. So this is the picture of different metamorphic rock. Okay, you can see the texture and you can identify that what are the metamorphic rock, what are the igneous rock, and what are the sedimentary rock. So now the sources, land resources. Land resources basically comes from the rocks. So soil is very important, the most important resource of the land, and the surface layer of the land is called the soil. About 4/5 of the land area is covered by soil. The word soil has been derived from the Latin word solum, meaning upper crust of the earth. It is a collection of natural bodies of Earth's surface containing living and well as non-living matter and supporting or capable of supporting plants. So soil basically capable of supporting plants. That is very important for agriculture, for crop production, and also for other plants. So this soil is a renewable natural source, we can say, because it is formed by the deposition of the organic matter, inorganic matter. So the matters are decomposed by microorganism and the layer of the soil is formed. So we can say the soil is a dynamic ladder of earth crust, which is constantly changing and developing. And the soil formation takes place with the decomposition of rocks and minerals. Soil properties like soil texture, structure, permeability, soil water porosity, soil pH, organic, inorganic content, all these plays important role to determine the productivity. So it provide mechanical support to flora, that means all plants. Due to its porosity and water holding capacity, the soil serves as the reservoir of the water. The ion exchange capacity of soil ensures the availability and supply of micro and macronutrients for growth of plants, microbes, and animals. Soil also preventing of excessive leaching of nutrient ions while maintaining proper pH. Soil contains a wide variety of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and mainly other microbes, which helps in the decomposition and mineralization of organic matter and regeneration of nutrients. So, what is land degradation? Land degradation refers to deterioration or loss of fertility or productive capacity of the soil. So, soil, we can say the productive when it is fertile, and if it lost the productivity or fertility, then we say that it is degraded. And basically, all modern and growth oriented activities are having their direct or indirect impact on land. Basically, mainly due to the human activities, soil gets polluted. Because of our deforestation, soil gets eroded, man-made, man-induced landslide. That means like human activities, like say construction of roads, railway, canal, dams, reservoir, and mining. This also creates the enhance the landslides. And soil erosion is refers to the loss of removable of the superficial layer of soil by action of wind, water, and human action. So how it occurs? Due to different types of human activities. One of the activities like deforestation. So we have to take care of the soil quality, soil fertility, soil productivity. It is one of the land resource. And desertification, what it is? It is the transfer of the land into the desert. That is called desertification. It is the slow process of land degradation that leads to desert formation. So it is like the skin disease of the planet. So due to the human population, increased human population, their industrialization, urbanization, so for different purposes. So vast areas of land already have been cleared. And due to the over cultivation, over gazing, poor irrigation practices, all these contribute to desertification. These activities also changes rainfall, reduces rainfall, increases temperature. That means it is also responsible for climate change. And the mineral resources. Mineral resources, it also comes from the rocks. And due to the over exploitation of the human being, that also creates the problem. So all these are land resources. So what effort we should take urgently? Like some of the suggested steps we can take, like recycle, developing more efficient technologies, distinguishing like smaller equipment, designing smaller equipment, exploiting like untapped deposits. So these steps we can take to protect our land resource, protect our environment. Basically, due to the over extracting of the mineral resources, we get the degradation of land, pollution of surface and groundwater resource, and serious adverse impact on the growth of vegetation, air pollution due to emission of dust and gases, deforestation due to loss of flora and fauna, rehabilitation of affected population included tribals. So all these are different types of problem. Now, that means it is regarding the degradation of the land resources. Now I will tell what we understand as land pollution. What is land pollution? What do you mean by land pollution? So land pollution is defined as deterioration or destruction of the Earth's land surfaces, often directly or indirectly as a result of man's activities and their misuse of land resources. It is the introduction of some substances into the environment that don't normally belong there, which is great concentration, can have harmful effects on plants, animals, and humans. Basically, how land pollution takes place. We are drinking cold drinks and throwing it here and there, throwing the bottle or throwing the packets or throwing the plastics. We are using the chips, we are eating chips and throwing the plastics here and there. We are not maintaining, and that creates land pollution. So now we are taking more care about this. That means we have segregated the garbage, that means biodegradable and non-biodegradable. You have seen it is very well. So we have to take care of all these things. We are just using and we are throwing here and there. We are not taking care of anything others. So that creates lots of problem. And the solid waste. What is the solid waste? The materials which are mainly generated through anthropogenic activities. Anthropogenic activities means like human activities. They're created by human activities and are discarded as useless or unwanted are called solid waste. So that means we in the everyday we discard the waste vegetable, waste plastics, the paper, all these things. So all these things basically called as the solid waste. Now we can categorize this solid waste. So what are the classification or what are the types of solid waste? So number one, that is the municipal solid waste, MSW. It is called, abbreviation is MSW. So these are generally non-hazardous solid waste from a city, town or village which are collected and transported for the recycling and for disposal. So that is the complete solid waste from any city or town. That is the concern of municipality. Industrial solid waste. Industrial solid waste. These are the wastes that are generated from industries. They are organic or inorganic depending on its nature. They may be biodegradable or non-biodegradable. So they are generally discharged from chemical industries, oil refineries, textile industries, drug industries. There are lots of industries, only few are mentioned here. So the industrial waste, that means which are discarded from the industry as useless substances. These are called industrial solid waste. And commercial solid waste. Commercial solid waste, these waste are generated from commercial places like marketplaces, shops, godowns, departmental stores. So these include discarded packing materials, papers, ceramics, plastics, vegetables, and fish remains. So all these are like commercial waste. So next type is, next classification is the agricultural solid waste. So agricultural solid waste, you can understand it is coming from the agriculture. They generally consist of roots, stems of crops, stalk, hay, animal dung, and the remains of pesticides, herbicides, insecticides. So these things are used to kill the insect, pests, etc. Next is the domestic solid waste. Every day we also discuss lots of useless substances. So these wastes are generated from household preparation and sweeping. The common ingredients are old paper, plastics, clothes, bottle, crockery, waste, vegetable waste, etc. Biomedical wastes. So biomedical waste, what do you understand by this? It is coming from the hospitals or nursing homes or clinics. So this includes disposable syringe, used surgical dressing, expired drugs, etc., which can be highly contaminated and should be treated with great care. That means this type of solid waste we have to properly dispose. Otherwise, it may cause more infection. Next is e-waste. E-waste may be defined as discarded computers, office electronic equipments, entertainment device electronics, mobile phones, telephone set, and refrigerators. So all types of electronic item we can tell as the e-waste. So the problem is like we are using mobile phone and after 6 months again we are changing our mobile. So where we will discard this mobile? Not in the, it should not be in the dustbin. So huge amount of e-waste in generating in not only any institute or office, it is also creating in our home. and we have to think about its disposal, its like recycling. There are different materials, like say lead contains in the electronics material. So we have, if we dispose directly in the dustbin and if it goes to soil or water, so again it will contaminate us. So it is very dangerous. So we have to recycle all these things. And there are few green companies which do this e-waste recycling process, and then they also give the certificates for that. And our institute, JS College of Engineering, follow these things. So we all, that means in our home, we should follow these things. We should not throw the e-waste here and there. So proper disposal, proper recycling is very important. Basically it comes from the awareness. So awareness is very important so that we can do the proper things. So today, what you have learned? You have learned many things basically. You have learned the lithosphere, the parts of lithosphere, that is core, mantle and crust. So if I summarize, you have learned number one, that is the lithosphere. What is lithosphere? And in which part of the lithosphere in components of environment we have identified. How the lithosphere is very much useful for us. Second, you have understood the different parts of the lithosphere, crust, core, mantle and core. Then you have learned the different resources, the land resources. How it comes, different types of, you have learned different types of rocks, igneous rock, metamorphic rocks and sedimentary rocks. And the land resources mainly tells about the soil and minerals. So the degradation of the land resources is taking place due to the over exploitation. So we have to take care of all these things, all these land resources, to protect our environment. Then you have learned what is land pollution, what are the solid wastes, and also you have learned different types of solid wastes, and also their sources and the examples. So now let's check with some questions how much you have learned. So it is very easy question, MCQ. The process of soil formation due to which one? Physical weathering, chemical weathering, biological weathering. Which one will be the answer? It will be all of these. Basically, the soil formation takes place by all this process. Next is the thickness of core is about which one? 500, 3500, 9000 kilometer. It will be 2200 kilometer. Number 3, question number 3, the particle size is maximum for clay, silt, sand and gravel. So gravel is the maximum size. The primary rock in the Earth's crust is metamorphic, igneous, sedimentary, none of these. It will be igneous rock, that is the primary rock. And metamorphic is coming from either sedimentary or igneous, and sedimentary rock is coming from the weathering process of igneous rock. The imaginary line where crust meets the mantle is known as Moho discontinuity, Gutenberg discontinuity, Conrad discontinuity, or none of this. So it will be Moho discontinuity. It is also called Mohorovičić discontinuity. So I hope that you are able to answer all these questions. Next question is the thickness of the mantle is about which one? So answer will be 2900 kilometer. What will be the answer? This will be the answer, 2900 kilometer. Lithosphere consists of the different like crust, mantle, core. So answer will be all of this. Okay, so you got the answer. Next is the short answer type question. What is lithosphere? How it is useful? So everybody can answer that lithosphere is basically the land, the sphere of land, and it is basically three parts: core, mantle, and crust. But generally speaking, we understand the crust as our lithosphere. And how it is useful, you will tell that how it is required for the tree plantation, crop production, and you will elaborate all these things, the transportation, building construction, all these things. Classify rocks along with example. So classify rocks, there are like igneous rock, metamorphic rock, and sedimentary rock. Next is the what is the primary rock and how many classes it can be classified. So that means primary rock, that is the igneous rock. It is two types, intrusive and extrusive. So you can give it with the example. First one is the example is granite and second one is the basalt. First one, it remains inside the core, but second one, the lava gushes out and it that means solidifies over the earth surface. What is the land resource? So land resource, you will start from the rocks. So, and then we will tell about the soil and minerals. That means which basically we utilize. What do you mean by land pollution? So you can define that that unwanted substance from different industry, household, commercial places we throw here and there. So all this created by the anthropogenic activities create the land pollution. Define solid waste and classify. So you can define what is the solid waste and the classification I have mentioned like municipal solid waste, biological solid waste, agricultural, industrial, and domestic, commercial solid waste, and also the e-waste and biomedical solid waste. So all these things I have already discussed. So everybody must answer all these things. So I have given the code. So you go through, enter study material and submit the assignment. And if you have any doubt, you can communicate with me. And for today, I am ending the session. So thank you very much.